Alright, well, I just don't know what to say anymore. It's another 3-0 loss at home. It's 5 defeats at home in our last 8 home games. It's it's at such a low right now. It's just there's no answer. There actually is no answer. Sacking the manager isn't the answer. We know the answer, and it's getting rid of the owners, but we need something realistic because we know that's not happening. There's no realistic answer that we can provide. Some of these players that were world class only at minimum 2, even 1 year ago, are just simply despicable. Can't play for the badge. Are lazy. It's just I don't know what's happened. There's just no fire, no intensity. Ten Hag gave up shouting to the players at times. The subs were uninspiring. What can we even do with the subs, to be fair? Our squad is absolutely shit. Injuries aren't an excuse for that. They actually just didn't care today. The 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 players just simply did not care. It was an absolute jet. It was an absolute joke. Let's just get into these player rankings and get it over and done with. These will be short, hopefully, because I won't get out of here. By the way, stick around to the end of the video for my Player of the Year votes, which for some reason I've made myself do even when we lose, and it's just an absolute. Oh, it's so hard to find votes for these players. Onana, we let in 3, couldn't do anything about them, didn't really make any saves, probably a 5, but he wasn't at fault for any of them. He maybe could have done better on one of them, but Dallo probably I'd go a 2, to be honest. I thought he was absolutely atrocious. I think he's actually been our best player this year because he's shown continuity, he's shown consistent selection availability, and he's actually provided a really good attacking threat down that right hand side when we haven't had the likes of Anthony, which we don't need anyway. And that first goal is some of the laziest piece of defending I've seen in years for United. It was absolutely despicable how you can wear a Manchester United shirt and be that lazy defensively. Absolutely awful positioning, work rate, all over the pitch, all around the ground, the whole game. Terrible game from Delo. Maguire 4, caught out of position a lot. I don't think he was as bad as Delo. He was caught out of position quite a bit, but by did a job. He wasn't directly at fault for any of the goals. Maybe the first goal partially. I'd probably lower it to a 3. Same as Lindelof. He was back at centre back today in his natural position, and he was basically the same as Maguire. Reguilon 3. He was just he got booked at the end for being frustrated. Down the left-hand side, he really couldn't find any link up with Garnacho. Just not very good at all. Casemiro gets a 6, and he probably gets my man of the match. I thought in the first half, he was our best player. The only valid reason I can think of taking him off was due to injury and trying not to rush him back. But that's my only valid explanation. I'd probably give it a 4. I can't give anyone a 6, but yeah, Cass 5. Hannibal, probably a 2. And I hate to do that to a young player, but just so shit. When we're talking about the futures of midfielders at this club, we're thinking of the Kobe Mainus. We're not thinking of the Hannibal Mabrys. I'm sorry. It's just I was saying it a few games ago. I think he probably has the future here, but the technical ability just isn't there. Mason Mount 3, didn't see him. Anthony probably a 2, awful. If he got a right foot, he'd be slightly less shit. The fact he can only use one foot, and the fact how easily he loses the ball, I'm fully convinced he's a flop at United. I'm fully convinced he's not going to work. I'm still got hope. In all the signings Ten Hag's made, Martinez, Onana, Mount, I think that can all work. And I think one of them has already worked. And I think Onana will work. And I think Mount can work. But I'll tell you what, this Anthony signing, no faith. 0 faith. I think he's terrible. Garnacho, I'll give him a 4. Martial, he created some things, but there was just no one in the box. And he also lost the ball quite easily at times. I'd maybe up it to a 5. Martial, 4. Unlucky game from Martial. I thought he was actually good in the link-up. It was just the balls he was getting received in the box weren't very good at all. I think that's an unfair rating. Wan-Bissaka, 5. Amrabat, 3. Bruno, 4. Rashford, 4. Højlund, 5. Ten Hag, he's tried to rotate the team. They can't do the job. He's tried to bring on these better players. They can't do the job. we actually play decent football, but then just had a winger fucking welt it from 40 yards. What else can Ten Hag do? It's a 3, but it's not Ten Hag, it's the players. If we sack him, where do we go from there? There's no managers to replace him. I just don't get that logic. Let me submit my votes. Man of the match goes to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and I can 100% see why. These are so hard to do, these game votes. Casemiro gets 5, Garnacho gets 4, Wan-Bissaka gets 3, Martial gets 2, Onana gets 1. It's basically who didn't do as shit as the others, is basically the votes for today. Delo, funnily enough, he was our worst player today, and Delo actually is in the lead in the player ratings, in the Player of the Year leaderboard. Onana 1 vote behind in second, then it's Casemiro, then it's Eriksen, then it's Varane. Where to from here? No idea. Fulham, Copenhagen, and Luton. 3 very must-win games, and we should be winning them. But nothing surprised me with United anymore. We're a joke. Glazers out. I'll see you next time.